Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, Default. Thinking right out here in the lab, in the wee hours of the morning. Why do what I do for you? Oh, I got something nice for you today. All right, you know the deal. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. Message in the story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I hope it's working out for you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, and that's what it is, through mental and spiritual discipline daily. That's what makes it a way of life. It's a routine you follow, you live by, okay? Spiritual, mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka, excuse me, know thyself. That's my mission, to get all right thinkers to do just that. I'm here daily for you, so I can give you the information that you need to do just that. Know thyself. That's my mission. Your goal should to be just that. Know thyself. Let's go. I asked the question: do you know you? It's okay. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer, tune in. That's what I do for you. Let's go. A person who knows not, and knows not that they even know not, foolish, disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes or think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. Person who knows, but knows not that they know, spiritually asleep. That's okay. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. Man, I'm loving this book because it's breaking the things down that you need to be. They saying priest or priestess because they want a higher education, but it's still breaking down the philosophy that you need to follow and learn for yourself. You ain't got to be going to the temple. You ain't got to be a priest or priestess, but you can manifest the things that you want for yourself, aka know thyself. So, right thinkers, let's talk about when your commitment to serve God. I'm committed. I had this conversation before I did the lesson. Just got the phone with my pastor. We had a conversation. I read it to him. He was, yeah. I said, yo, I know this is you. You do it your way. I do it my way. But we getting it done, okay, for him. Okay, it's all his way. But I'm doing this lesson backwards, because I really should start from the beginning. But I'm gonna start and do like I do. Hopefully you'll put them together. But this is commitment to serve God. When you're being a servant of God, that means you're giving, listen, one's life to service of the world and humanity. That's a big order to fill. If that ain't your goal, right there. If you ain't with that, this ain't the job for you. Simple as that. Okay. Now, and to act as what? A conduit for who? Divine, the God, with love and compassion for who? To the world, and to become a divine instrument to what? Bring healing and peace to the world. The fact I'm trying to save the world seems remote and crazy, but that's my goal. That's my plan. I'm just trying to keep it, that's a big plan. Let's keep the little plan first. Baby steps, as my man Easy would tell you. But my goal is to unite, enlighten the world. That's another lesson. Moving on. Watch this. Watch this now. This service is not confined to temples or churches, but it is to be what? Exercised in every aspect of your life as a right thinker, or here, priest or priestess, treading that path of right thinking philosophy demands what? This kind of dedication. If you're not dedicated, this won't work for you. I can tell you that right now. And your concentration, you need to show dedication concentration, and none should aspire to be what? A Netarian or right thinker who are not willing to what? Pledge this oath to be their best self following the right thinker philosophy. If you're not willing to do that, don't waste your time. I ain't saying you got to go hell, but no, but if you're going to do this, you got to put your best foot forward. That's the main thing. These are people who want to further their spiritual knowledge, so they're going to adhere. That's what it's about. You ain't got to do none of that. It's a choice. Moving on. So watch this. And understand this. I've told you this before, and I can tell you this again. When you're searching in the world for self and yourself for pursuits of happiness in the world, you are illusion. You're in the pursuit of an illusion. Why? It don't exist. Happiness from the physical world will never happen. It's temporary. It's gonna pass on. You're gonna have it for a minute and then it goes on. Like a thought, like a dream, whatever. But reality, what is, won't change. That's the understanding about reality. Moving on. So watch this. There are many ways that the mind can what? Fool itself. Watch this. Here we go. Into what? Believing it can maintain the status quo. Man, just going on, okay, we know them people. And watch this. And still also enter into the nether regions of the cosmic consciousness. Why? Some people seek what we're doing now, the priesthood. And watch this, for social status. That's the wrong reason, first of all. And or because it what? It boosts their ego to feel important or special. This is your CEOs, your doctors who went and got a little education, got a little something extra. So they think they're better than you. So they walk around all pious and high and mighty. They're not committed to serving God. They're serving themselves. That's why I'm trying to set you up to show you. Watch this. Now, those personalities who hold on to what? Their worldly ideas, because what? That's what they want. They want possessions. They want to fulfill their desires. They coaching those in what? In disguise of what? Worldly responsibility. I'm a man of God. I'm a good guy the whole time, knowing he's not. Those antichrist. Pure good, but they're really bad. Watch this. Now the search for peace, warmongering, cultural survival, etc., are what? Are deluding themselves. If you are thinking you got to destroy this, you got to have that, you got to conquer that, you're not a servant of God. You either serve God or the devil. No, you are the devil. Why? Because when you oppose God, you become the devil. So the devil was created by every individual who opposes God. So just think about the concept. Moving on, that's all it is. Any excuse, any excuse can be used to what? Not face the things that what? That contradict their personal desires of their ego to what? Allow the ego to remain unchanged. They're not going to change. That's why I read on my mission. Those who believe, they're not going to change. Leave them alone. Avoid them. That's why they're dangerous. They're not going to change who they are. Understand that. They say them phrases, dog don't old dog don't catch you, old dog no tricks. It's been around a long time for a reason. If a saying don't mean what it said, it won't be around. Why? Because it don't hold water. A saying that's been around, meaning there's some validity to it. That's all I'm saying. So watch this, where we at. So now, in right thinking aspirant may say, watch this, he or she believes in nonviolent. I'm one of them at a certain point in nonviolent teachings of what? Maya philosophy. And yet, watch this, justify hitting someone and saying what? They had to do it to protect their honor, my reputation, my all that nonsense. Okay, I was one of them. Okay, when the ego gets hurt or it wants to lash out, it's going to lash out. That's anger. It results in physical altercations every time. Every time. That's why I said you could talk that nonviolence, but when it's time to show how you handle yourself, excuse me, So understand that. Don't just say it and then make excuses when you don't do what you say. If what they say don't match what they do, they're hypocrites or they're liars. Either one is not good. So I had to prove that to myself. So yeah, it's a learning lesson, and you should learn it because in life, that's one of the lessons you need to learn for yourself. And watch this. I did it to protect my honor. And when reality, what happened? They did it because they enjoyed strife, releasing themselves by hurting other people, getting into situations. Some people like, we call it drama. Same thing. Okay. So watch this. There is only there's only one way to truly free yourself from the bonds of ignorance and the illusions and the delusions and the sorrows of life. You know what that is? The worldly ego consciousness must die. Just like Asar died in the Asarian resurrection myth, this is the ultimate quest for priesthood. Why? To die and be reborn as who? Asar. That's who we are. We Haru, his son, the son of the Father, resurrected in our image. Watch this. And become a divine being. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. But those who are, watch this, those who are not on that quest or perpetrating thereon should not pursue the path of right thinking philosophy, aka Netarian clergy. If you're right thinking, you would be eligible to become a priest or clergy. Why? Because you're going to learn and follow certain rules that govern them, and you'll be qualified. That's why. Watch this. So they should remain what? Racket. That's spelled Rekhyt. Ratchet or racket. Okay. That means the devoted common folk. Now this paragraph starts off with this. You see that bird right there with the doo-wop form sitting on the cup? That's the common folk able to communicate with gods. Before then, they felt that the common folk couldn't couldn't go to heaven, couldn't go to another world, couldn't go on to the next life and afterlife. Why? They was ignorant. And they was. So we enlightened them. They become, watch this, they be a whole different race of people. I'll go back to that next lesson, but I skipped over that one. But that's where this started. But I want to get this commitment to serve God and what it really means. Okay, there you go. Until, watch this, where we at? Now, the common folk, until they are what? Through, watch this, searching for what? Happiness where? In the world, and are ready to what? Follow the course of advanced spirituality, aka right thinking philosophy. Everybody's going to jail. All you gotta do is sit at the entrance, or when they come out, they're looking for something. Jesus, Allah, right? Whatever you give them that will work for them, they will show allegiance to you from that point on. That's because the concept. And that's God. You can call them, you can present them any way you want, but that's going to change somebody's life, make them a better person. I don't care what you call it. Okay? But if that's what you're doing, count me in. Why? Because that's what I'm doing. I just ain't trying to go to jail. I'm trying to get them before they go to jail. No offense, okay, but I take them. But I want to prevent that aspect of their life. I did it with my kids. My kids don't got the records. My kids, they hustlers. My kids, they drug dealers. So I took care of that personally, and that's what you want to do. If a father means you want your children to go farther than you did, so you push them in the direction of good and righteous. I didn't push my kids in the wrong direction. I'm just saying. Moving on. In the Syrian resurrection myth, watch this: the divinity Asar, who symbolizes, watch this, the soul in all human beings, not just one, all human beings. And watch this, and the idea being dismembered by his brother, which is who? Set, which represent what? The ego self. The ego self will kill the spirit, the soul. Okay, that's the concept. And watch this. Set, who did what? Set, who represents, excuse me, egoism, and put back together, remember, and resurrected by who? His wife, which is the goddess Aset. She represents what? How the put it back. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. Isis put it back together. She didn't need a whole bunch of people. She do it on her own. That's the concept. But that whole fall together base came from here. Again, I'm just giving you the origins of the stuff. Oh, I know about that, but you know about this. See? Again, the true meaning of dismemberment of Asar is what? Is the degeneration of the ego consciousness. Okay? When Aset reconstitutes him, reintegrates him, resurrects him, the dismemberment of the soul of Asar is now reintegrated with what? A new wisdom. That's us. Haru, the offspring from Asar and Aset. They cannot, watch this. Now, this concept cannot happen as long as what? There has not been a real experience. Again, Christians, any religion, if you follow the tenets, something should happen. That's called the mystical experience. That's your own understanding as a right thinking. My concept is to get you to know God for yourself through your experience that you encounter with Him for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You have to experience it. Experience God for yourself. Now you are not a believer, you are a knower of God. So now you should be what? Committed to serve God. Those who have that, that's why we become servants. That's how it happened to me. I'm just letting you know, everybody got to be a servant of God, but when you obey and live right and be blessed by Him, you will want to serve Him and worship Him. I'm saying, watch this. When you have to have your own real experience of the transcendental consciousness, that's the awakening. That's you becoming conscious of who you and God are, really one and the same. If that deconstruction, remember we're programmed the first 7 years, and if we don't deprogram and reprogram, we're still working off what somebody else did for us. We ain't did it for ourselves. Waking up is rearranging, deconstructing, as my man George would say, deprogram you so I can reprogram you. Why? Because I need to break down what you already think you know and give you something that you can know and live with. That's why. So again, if that deconstruction and reconstruction were to happen for all right thinkers, watch this, what happened? The ego as it was in the past would be what? No more. And a new personality, aka Haru, will emerge and align with who? Your higher self. That's the goal for right thinking. That's knowing yourself. When you go through these things and make these things happen for yourself, you will have that experience for yourself. I'm getting amped because I've had it. I know it. So I want you to do experience it for yourself. I ain't trying to sell you a bill of goods. I'm just trying to give you the truth. And you can manifest and find it for yourself. You're going to take my word for it. Let's go. I'm almost there. There is only, when you hear only, that means one way to attain the goal of life, and that is to what? Live righteous. Righteousness lifestyle is the way to go. Spiritual lifestyle, Islamic, Judaism, whatever faith you follow, you got to live it. That's the whole part about a religion. A religion is lived, not practiced. It's lived. You get better at it. Watch this. And now any actions that are not, listen, that are not righteous against of God, but rationalized as such constitute what? A grave act of what? Unrighteous act. Now you're going against what is right to satisfy yourself. You become the devil. Watch this. And born of what? Miseducation or a willful ignorance. And it will lead to what? The opposite of spiritual enlightenment, peace, and harmony, which is what? Agitation, dis-ease, and ignorance. That's not a good way to go through life. A lot of us do. And you wonder why their life is the way it is. I'm loving this. In the inner life, which is the in you. Don't look at life in out here. Life starts in here. Okay? In the inner life, what? A person can rationalize lying, cheating, stealing, not practicing meditating, not studying a teaching, and not not protecting what? The rights of all human beings, etc. I protect the weak. I try to inform the ignorant. I'm doing my job, okay? And there may what seem to be prosperity when you lying, cheating, and stealing. Watch this. I did that in their land. And then watch this. Even in their bank account. But however, here we go, that aspirant, that person, that wealth will become what? The source of great sorrow. Why? For those people and their families. Why? Because the surest way to attain personal integrity and purity is to what? Follow the injunctions of who? Maya. And that should be the primary responsibility of all right thinkers alike. Why? Record important teachings. What? In chapter 33, I'm going to read that in a minute. In the book of the dead, it states, watch this, that a right thinker, righteous aspirant should be able to utter. And remember, we don't do, I was, no, we're going to say, I have not. That means you're speaking in present tense in the following declarations. Here we go. Excerpts from chapter 33, 18, the Persian rule. It says, I have lived by righteousness and truth while on earth. Okay. I live a righteousness and truth. I fed upon right and truth where in my heart. I have done what is required to live in harmony where in society, and the gods and the goddesses are also satisfied that I have worshiped rightly. Living, doing, and being all the aspects of your character is being shown and being activated and being respected. They will speak for you. Watch this. The next one is, I have done God's will. When you can say that at the end of every day, you're right there. Simple as that. You ain't got to be a high priest. You ain't got to be no. You just got to be a good person. Why? Because that's what God wants for you. All the other stuff is on you. Understand that. Moving on. I have given bread to the hungry. I feed y'all every day. Knowledge and understanding. Water to the thirsty. I lubricate the concepts they give it to you. Clothes to the clother. I give you garments to put on your spiritual concepts. And a boat to those who were shipwrecked. I'm going to give you a way to get where you got to go. Knowledge of self. I made the prescribed offerings to the gods. I pray and meditate daily. And I made offerings to the God and goddesses by praying every day. And I also made offerings to my church that I choose to go to the glorious spirits that resides there within when we come together as one to fellowship and worship who we believe in. That's my lesson. Oh, I got more. I just had to cut it short. I'll be back.